Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. It's a little chilly today in New York, so I'm wearing a scarf because it's freezing in my apartment. If you hear a little bit of noise in the background, Galileo's playing with his toys and Lewis is putting some shelves up. So if you hear that, that's that. I was tagged recently by Erica from The Perks of Books to do the When I Grow Up book tag, and it's essentially talking about the things you wanted to be when you grew up, and then books that sort of relate to that in some way. I wanted to be really weird things when I grew up, and I don't really remember all of them, but let's just go with it. Apparently, according to my mom, I wanted to be a dentist when I was a kid, and I had a hard time finding a book for this, but I recently read Gulp by Mary Roach, which is all about sort of eating and the mouth and saliva and teeth chewing, things like that. And so I thought I could go for that one. I actually don't physically have it. I listened to it on audiobook, but that's the only one I could think of that had to do with mouths and anything sort of remotely related to dentistry. One thing that I always wanted to be and still do is be a witch. I wish I was a witch. I wish I had magical powers, and oh, hello. As opposed to going for what would be the obvious for me, which would be Harry Potter, I decided to go for The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think she describes magic in really just beautiful ways in this book, and so I thought that I would go for this one instead. A weird thing that might make you rethink the way that you think about me that I wanted to be growing up was, and I mean this in the best possible sense, although it's probably going to be taken in the wrong way, but I wanted to be an assassin growing up, which I think a lot of us probably did at some point, which is why we love assassin books so much and assassin movies so much. And the book that I cited for this one was Graceling by Kristen Cashore. It's the only one in the trilogy, the sort of companion trilogy that she has that I've read, but I loved it. What is the name of the main character? Katsa. I thought it was Katya. Katsa is like that YA assassin that we all have always wanted. It is her. Read this book if you have not yet. Something else that I also wanted to be and kind of still do was either a librarian or like a bookstore owner, and so for that I chose Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane, The Great Library. I recently read this, and it's about what if the Library of Alexandria existed and it controlled all knowledge, and the main character is going through a sort of trial. He's a student to become an employee of the library. And so I decided to go for this one. Something that I also always wanted to be and still do is a detective of some kind, but I didn't want to be a cop. I just wanted to go straight into being a detective. And the way that I feel about that is very similar to the way that Robin feels in the Cuckoo's Calling, or the Robert Galbraith books, aka J.K. Rowling books, the Cormoran Strike series. The way that Robin feels about being a detective and helping Cormoran and just solving mysteries is the same way that I feel. And if I probably had her opportunity to work for a private detective, even if it meant giving up probably an HR job that made a lot more money like she did, I probably would have done the same thing and not regretted it one bit. I went through a time when I was like 14 that I watched a lot of these like jewelry selling channels on TV. I don't know why. They were very interesting. You learn so much about like jewelry and gemstones and things like that, and I just loved it. I could literally just sit there and watch it. It was one of these it started off, so they showed you the jewelry. It started off as at a certain price, and then it went down in price, so it was different than usual. And they only had a set quantity that they were selling. And even if you bought when the price was like $1,000, if it took long enough to be purchased and it went all the way down to like 200, then you would pay $200. You would always pay the lowest price. So I learned so much. And the only book that I could sort of think for this one is the Girl of Fire and Thorn series by Ray Carson, because the main character has like a gemstone in her stomach that gives her the abilities to do what she does in the book. I think this is a very underrated YA series that I think everybody should read. It's really, really good. And so that. I also wanted to be a pirate growing up. I wanted to be a lot of things that are very not reasonable, I guess, or some things that I could probably actually achieve. But for piracy, I chose Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the second book in the Lies of Locke Lamora series, and that has pirates in it. It has female pirates in it, and what better pirates are there than female pirates? So yeah, those are all the things that I remember ever wanting to be when I was growing up. Let me know what you guys wanted to be when you were growing up, if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. I will think about who I'm going to tag, and I will tag them down below, and I will also tag them on Twitter and any social media. And if you've done this video, let me know. I would love to see it. As always, thank you for watching. Love you guys. Oh, also, from now on, any sort of videos that I upload, I will put a lot of information down in the description bar about places where you can donate to help Puerto Rico, Mexico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, any Caribbean island that was affected by Hurricane Maria. I have been donating to the Hispanic Federation mostly, and I've been sending food to my dad because his church is accepting donations, and the school that Lewis goes to has been accepting donations, so we've been donating to them as well. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I always retweet any place that I can find that is accepting donations. Even if you cannot donate, if you can just share information and share the word, I think the more donations we have, the better. We have a very bad humanitarian crisis going on, and I don't think it's getting the attention that it deserves. And so, yeah, please look down below, and if you can donate, please do. And if not, please share information, share this video, share any of my tweets or posts on social media. Me and my people on my island would really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys.